are back. Sorry that this review is a little late. My really good girlfriend had a wedding this weekend out of town, so I was at that. Now I'm back, and I'm here to give you a new review of my favorite show. I'm really starting to like this show, and I'm kind of upset that I haven't watched it from the beginning. But, you know, to be honest, I just didn't feel like it was marketed towards, you know, me. So now that they got Rachel, I'm all in. And I just really love this show. And I feel like I miss these cheesy dating reality TV shows. I don't know. Maybe with everything that's going on in the world, with all like the negativity being spewed, I kind of just like this weird world of cheesy unicorn girliness. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but I'm really liking this show. I'm really loving dialoguing with all of you. Thank you for stopping by. Now let's get into this review. Oh, and by the way, notice the new background. Mother is giving you glitter, okay? I am stepping up this channel, okay? I got new visitors. I gotta make it look good in here. This episode opens up with another introduction of Rachel. I don't know if this is normal for every Bachelorette or Bachelor show, but I feel like every episode we get like an introduction or a little bit more information about Rachel. So maybe this is the thing that they do, but like this episode we got an introduction of her, and we got to a little bit more information of her, and we got to meet her dog Copper with a little hen, which we won't find out about, and I don't know why. Decides to take out half of the guys on this date, like this marriage material date that she's trying to like break down the guys and figure out who was going to be right for her. So she takes all the guys out on the date, and she shows up in like this Easter Sunday dress and starts playing football with the guys. And I'm not understanding, and I don't know what's going on with the styling, but I'm just mind my business. But I just feel like for her being the first sister, we could have done a little bit more something with the hair and the wardrobe. But you know, maybe this is how Bachelorette is. But I just feel like we could have draped her in something a little bit more than, you know, a Ross casual fashions. Ain't nothing wrong with Ross, but this is the first black Bachelorette, honey. She needs Balenciaga. Oh my gosh. Guys, I don't know what to do. Kenny is so sweet. I love him. And I always feel bad when I see him on my TV, because I'm just like, you are not right for Rachel. I think he is such a sweet guy. I think he's probably a phenomenal father, but he is just not right for Rachel. And I feel so bad every time he's on and he's talking about how much he loves her or likes her or will be a good husband for her. And I'm like, oh my goodness, yes. In your dreams, Kenny, it's not going to work. Oh, he's so sweet. It's been 2 minutes and Lucas has already gotten on my damn nerves. I don't know how long I could take of him. So I'm really hoping that within the next few episodes, we wrap him up and we send him packing. The only saving grace for me with the Lucas situation right now is that there's a Freaky Blake who, pray for me. It's Freaky Blake who has, I guess he has some tea on Lucas. And that's the only saving grace right now with this whole Lucas situation, that there is somebody in the house who knows the real him and will hopefully bring him down so that we, the viewers, don't have to deal with him anymore. Because I know the only reason why Rachel is dealing with him is because the producer said you have to deal with him. Because ain't no way that this sister picked this dude. I don't think any woman would pick him. But you know what? There are some women who sleep with men. Women, we have got to stop giving men like this. I was going to say something. Access to our vaginas. It is what it is. We have got to stop that, because they go around thinking that this is the behavior that they can execute in life and go on and live and just make people miserable, because we are still allowing them entry into our Disneyland. Shut down your Disneyland so we can shut down these fools. So Ashton and Mila Kunis are the guest stars. Again, I haven't watched this show before, so I'm guessing like guest stars is something that will happen throughout, because she had a few guest stars this episode. So they're the guest stars. And can I just say that I love this couple? I feel like I've been on the journey with them from the beginning, because I was a huge fan of that 70s show. And I always thought that there was something going on between them two. But then Ashton married to me, and I was just like, well, maybe it's over. But then all of a sudden, he came back home. So I really love this couple. And I just could not take my eyes off of them. Their chemistry, just the advice that they were giving to Rachel, and the fact that they were huge fans of the show, and they were huge fans of Rachel. Yeah! And also, Ashton was Mila's first kiss. And look at him now, guys. True love is possible, even if you're a millennial. Can I just say, I feel so corny, but this Adam dummy, Every time I see that thing, I fall out. So there's like this scene where they're like cutting into the, they come back to the house with the guys, and the dummy is just like laying in the pool floating. Who put him in the pool? Like, why is this happening? And I guess this has to be somebody in the show who like stirs up drama. But Lee seems very, very, very messy. And he seems like another person who isn't here for Rachel. I've seen this in a few characters where I feel like the producers pick certain guys and then Rachel, wait, I don't even think she picks the guys. I think casting picks the guys for her and she never sees them. Am I correct? Because I remember when they had like this Bachelor special and then they brought Rachel on, the Bachelorette, and Chris Harrison was talking to her and he was like, oh, you're going to meet a few of your bachelors. And she was shocked. So I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below if she's able to pick her guys. But I feel like she doesn't pick them, and I think that there are some who are like half producer pick and half casting. So casting, like, I guess picks hot guys, you know, guys who are probably, who will probably fit well, compatible with Rachel. And then the producers probably pick guys who like stir up the drama. And I think like Lucas, Lee, Blake, who are some other guys? I feel like there's a few other guys there that I don't think are there for Rachel, but they are there to keep the show moving along. And I think that's all fine and dandy, but I guess because I'm so invested, I'm like, I want them all to be there for love. Anyway, so this husband material challenge, I didn't understand at first why they were doing it. I was just like, how does this let you know that these guys are compatible for you or will be great husbands? But then it hit me. None of these dudes have like real jobs. Aspiring drummer, you know, some dude walks in with a dummy. They don't really have like jobs. So obviously in this situation, Rachel is going to be the breadwinner. So she's looking for essentially a stay-at-home husband if she's trying to pick a man out of this group. See? Me and Ashton are on the same page because he says to Mila, his wife and baby mother, he says, I don't think that Rachel's husband is in this group. He was like, I don't see it. I don't see husband material out of any of these guys in this group for Rachel. And then Mila's just like, well, honey, you have to give it time. They have like 6 weeks. And he looks at her, he's just like, I knew the first day. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is so sweet. Then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Demetrius, you watching, girl? And so while I'm watching this challenge, I'm noticing that each guy has like a baby. Each guy has a baby with a certain shade. So like the black guys have like darker skinned babies. And the white guys have like these lighter, you know, Barack Obama kind of babies. And I'm like, oh, I really appreciate this show's attention to detail, but it don't work like that. Rachel and Peter's kids, I'm not even gonna go there. Lucas wins the husband material challenge, but like I feel like everybody knew that he was cheating. Like we all saw that he cheated. He like drowned the baby. He was cutting corners to get around things. But I honestly feel like they are pushing this dude through because he cheats and he still wins. And then Rachel acts like she's really excited. And I can't. I really need for her to like cut this guy. He is so annoying. But the only thing that made his win palatable was the fact that he tried to do like a wumbaga, wanga banga, whatever that is for Ashton Kutcher. He tried to get him to do it. Ashton was just like, and Mila was like, you know how us women are when our men are not acting right, where we try to like get them to give a proper response because we're trained to be polite and we're trained to like, oh my goodness, that's so sweet. Even when somebody's doing something terrible, men are just not, raised like that. They're not bred like that. They don't give these like fake responses just to make somebody feel, but like, yeah, they're not raised to like make people feel better. We are. That's a whole nother video. Anyway, so Mila is like looking at Ashton. She's like, honey, baby. And Ashton is like, yes, Ashton, yes. The drama with Lucas stops today. Sorry, baby. It's my armor bearer. I'm so sorry. Mommy didn't mean it. It's for the fans. Can I tell y'all that every time Lucas does the waka baka, the waka waka, every time he does it, his features shift. He did it this last time, and I'm telling you, when he got up, he looked like, you know, that Richard Nixon mask that, what's his name? Patrick Swayze, that he wore in Point Break. That's what he looked like when he was done with the Waka Waka Rambazini, whatever that mess is. And I'm telling you, Lucas, you have to stop, sweetie. You are messing up your features because, ooh, let me give you this tea, right? So Blake is talking about how he has like all this information on Lucas, and he never really drops how he knows Lucas throughout the episode. I did my own little research, and word on the street is that Lucas and Blake were in this reality TV show on WeTV called XL, where they go on the show with their ex and they try to rekindle their relationship or find love with another partner. And Lucas was on that show, and this show aired in like 2016. Can I tell you something? Lucas looked real different. And I think that was before he started the Wambao or the Wambaozini, because he was fine in that show. But I guess when he took on this persona of Wambao or ShamWow, whatever it is, his features started shifting. I'm telling y'all, go watch little clips on YouTube of XL, and you will see Lucas, and he looked so different, like a year. And the only difference from when he did that video to today is the Wambao. That's it. You better stop that, boy. You messing everything up. Everything up. Rachel is our girl, and I love her. But I just hit myself. Oh, my goodness. Even my own self is fighting myself from saying this. The issue that I'm having with Rachel is her problem with Fred. From when he was 9. I'm like, girl, you gotta let that go. I always think of you as being that bad kid because we were the only black kids in this camp. And I just keep on thinking about how bad you were. Well, give us the tea on Fred, Rachel. I mean, because you keep on saying he's a bad kid. And I'm thinking like we've all had a phase, you know, at a time where we were like tearing up Barbie dolls and stuff like that. You know, every kid goes through it, right? A little rebellious phase. So I'm like, is that it? Or is there something deeper? Because you're in your 30s and you're troubled by something that he did as a 9-year-old. So I'm like, did he kill a camp counselor? Did he burn up a bunk bed? Like, what the hell happened? Because none of us get why you are so just turned off by him and what he did when he was 9, especially when that fine Donnie Simpson looks at you. I get weak in my knees. So I'm just not understanding how what he did at 9 is affecting how you feel about him now. And y'all in your 30s. Well, he's in his 20s. Rachel, these young boys ain't ready. You got to start in the 30s if you're trying to get marriage and kids right away. Especially, listen, Fred is fine, but executive assistant, I'm just not thinking he's ready. What the hell is up with casting? I have a bone to pick with casting because these jobs just don't make any sense. And you're trying to set this girl up for marriage and, you know, kids. Like, we want her to be like that one Bachelorette. I did watch that one. Oh my goodness. I used to watch The Bachelor. Yes, I watched The Bachelorette with Trisha. Is that her name? She was the one who married the firefighter. Right? Volunteer firefighter. Same thing. Or maybe not. I don't want to be disrespectful. Anyway, she married him and they're really married and they have kids and everything. Oh, I completely forgot about that show. Okay, so I have watched this show before. I just don't remember it. Rachel now has these one-on-one kind of sit-down dates with the guys from this batch that she pulled from. And one was Fred, and then she sits down with like the creepy Ted Bundy guy. And I'm telling you guys, the way he looks at her, I'm like, oh, let it go. First of all, I feel like I'm bothered by the fact that he has very thin eyebrows. His eyebrows are very thin, and he has like a curly mullet. You know, like a mini mullet. He just bothers me, and the way he looks at her and like rubs her hand, I'm like, it's something not right with him. I don't know what it is, but no. And then this awkward, creepy date with Tickle Monster. What is going on? You have the chance to sit down with a woman who you are interested in for like marriage, because every dude on this show is like looking for like some type of engagement or marriage thing. Like, this is what the show was set up for. So why are you sitting down with a baby, like a fake baby, talking about how you can't wipe their anus too hard because of the resistance? It was so awkward and uncomfortable. And she has more awkward and uncomfortable dates than necessary. You know what I mean? Some are put in, I guess, for like comedic, you know, I don't know, maybe for us to laugh or whatever. But this is getting to a point where all of her dates are really creepy. And like every time she's on like a little sit down with one of these guys, I'm always like, oh, girl, run, get your mace, something, call the cops. These guys are weird. Rachel picks Peter to go on her one-on-one date. Yes! Wait, okay, I'm not going to skip ahead, but let me tell you something. I have done some research on Peter. Oh, yes! So then Freaky Blake gets his his little one-on-one time with Rachel. And although I'm glad that I don't know, I'm conflicted because I like the fact that he is coming after fake Lucas. Because none of the guys are bothered by it, and that bothers me that y'all not bothered by this dude that is clearly there for the cameras if you're allegedly looking for love. Anyway, I do feel like Freaky Blake, is, why do I keep on doing it? The fact that he talked about his penis and just tantric and all that stuff, wheels are turning. But I just feel like he's so obsessed with exposing Lucas that I feel like he's more into exposing Lucas than he is into Rachel, because he spends his only one-on-one time with Rachel trying to expose Lucas and not telling Rachel about himself. And then he spends like the last few moments that he has with her to be like, oh, well, I don't want to waste my time talking about him. Let's get to know. But it's like too late, dude. You spent the majority of your time trying to get her to look negatively at a guy. And if this isn't your first reality TV show, you know why he's there. So why waste your time trying to take Lucas down if you're also there as a producer plant as well, which is what I feel like is what's happening. You know what I mean? Because they all have to go through like these background searches. So I'm feeling like the producers knew who the both of them were and probably sat down with the both of them separately and talked about their angles on the show. And this is what we're going to get from the both of them. So I guess we just got to deal with Lucas and Blake in this, and Lee trying to take people down. There are just certain guys, nah, they're not here for Rachel. They're here for the show, and that's fine because we got to be entertained. So it is what it is. How is Lucas always drunk? Every episode, he just gets wasted. Him and Blake are like getting into this one-on-one or whatever, and they're going back and forth, and Blake is like, well, I told her about you. I told Rachel about your lies, and that you're thinking you're here for the cameras, and that you brought makeup to put on your face. Who wouldn't? Let me tell you something. If I'm going to be on TV, I'm going to bring my own little makeup to have my face beat, because a lot of times the makeup people don't know what the hell they doing. I was on one show, and they did me nice. No, 2 shows, and they did me nice, but a lot of times they don't know how to work with your skin tone. Not everybody is professional. They might get paid professional money, but a lot of the times they don't know what they're doing. Makeup artists, come to Hollywood. You are needed. Anyhowser, they start going back and forth about who's here for Rachel, who isn't, or whatever. And then Blake drops this tea. He's just like, well, I'm roommates with Lucas's ex-girlfriend, and Lucas is just like the girl I'm trying to evict. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? First of all, Blake, you're an aspiring drummer, and you also have a roommate, which means that you have somebody, and no shade, I got a roommate too, that you need to split the rent with. You, right now, no tea, no shade, are not husband material. And this, again, goes back to casting. What the hell are y'all doing? Guys, Dean is growing on me, and I hate it, because this is the thing. Just like Kenny, he's not right for Rachel. He's very young, and he's never dated a black woman before. Listen, love is love, okay? However, we are different culturally. Black people and white people, you know, we're just very different. Child, I have been down that road. We are different people, okay? Different cultures, right? And just with any relationship where there's a clash of cultures, you're going to have issues. I feel like Rachel needs to, if she's not going to be with a black man, then she needs to be with a white guy or a non-black man who has been down this road before. Because if you haven't been down this road, listen, there are a lot of detours, a lot of hiking trails that you have to know about before you come up here. So I feel like he's a nice guy. He's such a sweetheart. And that's the thing about him that I'm just like, oh, he's such a sweetie. But the fact that he's so young and he does it and he has not been with a black woman before, I just don't think that, especially in America. Maybe if this was England, like maybe if this was London, because I feel like I got a lot of black girlfriends. That's another video. But let me tell you something. The black woman in London is living with their white men. No problems. So I don't know. Maybe it's just like an American culture thing, but I feel like there's so much like negative history between the cultures that you both have to be in a mature mindset to embark on this kind of relationship, which no tea, no shade, but in this nation is going to be a very difficult relationship to navigate. And he's just not right, but he's so adorable. Rachel, I have to disagree, right? So we get on this I want to go black thing. And I just feel like this is another like producer thing, because I don't think when Drake, what's his name? Dean, child. You know, I wouldn't put it past Drake being on this show. But anyway, when Dean brings it up, he's like really embarrassed by it. And I thought that was actually pretty cute. Then Rachel goes, oh my goodness, no, I was going to say that to you. And I'm like, girl, let him live in that embarrassment. See, this is what he has to learn. He has not been to this side of Disneyland. So he needs to learn that certain things are not okay. So him being embarrassed was a good thing. You should have worked with that and been like, it's okay, boo. Just know that this is how you speak to me. Because when we're in relation, I don't want my skin color or my culture to be the first thing that you see. I want you to fall in love with all of me and know that that is a part of me, but that is not the only part of me. So that was where the conversation should have went. It shouldn't have been no pat on the wrist. That was fine. I actually liked it. Don't do that, women of color. Do not sit up there and act like you like being fetish, because you don't. It's cute for a minute. It's cute when you're 14. It's just like, oh my goodness. You know, the Puerto Rican voice is like, hey, chocolate. Just like, oh my goodness, stop it, papi. You know, all that stuff is cute when you're a kid. When you're an adult, it's soul crushing to be, to just be considered because of something about you and not because of you as a whole. And I wish she would have addressed that. But again, this goes back to the woman thing, because a lot of times we die for our men because we don't want to upset you. We don't want to run you away. We want to try to morph into what you want us to be. And it's not reciprocated a lot. So that was the only thing three things I had a problem with Rachel this episode, but that's okay. She's still our girl. So after all of that, Rachel gives Dean the group date rose, and they actually had a bigger like one-on-one like full date. And Rachel is hot this entire episode. And even last episode, she was giving me a little hot tail. But Miss Rachel, okay, Lindsay, is ready for a man, okay? Because throughout this entire episode, she is just tackling these men. So, cute, pure Dean. Pure in blackness. Pure Dean. Pure Dean is very shy and uncomfortable, and I guess that probably happens a lot with younger men and older women. I guess they feel like maybe inexperienced. I don't know, but he's very shy. His cheeks are like blushing the entire time. He's such a cutie. They're having like a date, and his hands are, I don't know if you guys watched it, but his hands are like shaking, and I don't know if it's just nervousness or not really knowing what to do, but he's like, he wants to make a move, you can see it, but he doesn't do it. But Rachel doesn't care. She just goes in for the kiss, and little Dean just doesn't know what to do. And I'm like, Rachel, calm down. Girl, it's okay. I feel like, I'm not going to say it, but Rachel, I hope you're not over here jumping these. When the cameras go off, Rachel is just like, listen, you know where I stay. I hope that this is not going on, because Rachel is a little too saucy for me. You just met these dudes and their tongues are like down every crevice, and Rachel is loving it. But you know what, girl? Live your life, because we are all living through you, okay? Just expose Miss Rachel Lindsay, because the whole time it's been, oh my goodness, I had never in my life dated a white guy before. I don't know anything about this. The Bachelor was like the first white guy that I've ever dated. And let me tell you something, sis, you don't have me fooled, because you are way too comfortable in the hands of an alabaster man for this to be the first time that you've been touched by the alabaster meat. Girl, I am not convinced. I am not convinced. This is not your first white guy. You have been down this road a few times. Now, maybe you have had some alabaster lays and not alabaster relationships, but these are not your first white guys. No way, no how. I am not fooled. Live your life though, sis. Live your life. See, this episode, I found DeMario to be attractive, and I haven't found him to be attractive before because of, the fact that he has Tyler Perry's head. But, Tyler Perry's head aside, and nothing wrong with Tyler Perry's head. It's just weird that I'm seeing his head on somebody else. DeMario is pretty fine. Like, he's really, really cute. I think it's the height. Can I tell you, height is my kryptonite. Along with swag. Pray for me. Pray for me. So now it's time for Rachel's one-on-one date with Peter. And can I just say, guys, my top 5 keeps on shifting. Like, Josiah was my number 1 pick. When I started seeing how thirsty he was and how he wasn't really making an impression with Rachel, he kind of faded for me. But Peter, girl, Rachel want Peter. I do too. Listen, that brother is fine. So anyway, she has a one-on-one date with Peter. And they go on like this private jet, pulling out all the stops for your man. I see a girl. They go on this private jet and she's just like, well, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to bring somebody else along. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Because remember the clip from last week, I'm just like, oh my goodness, is this the girlfriend or whatever? I didn't know what she was going to bring out. And she brings out her dog, Copper, little adorable dog. And then Peter's just like, oh my goodness, what happened? And she's like, we'll talk about that later. I'm like, well, what happened to the damn dog? Is it you? Did you do something? I hope it wasn't an ex that like beat up her dog or something. That's the only thing that I could think of, like why she wouldn't tell him that, you know, what happened with her dog. I don't know. Well, anyway, they go on this date and she takes him on a date to Barkfest. And again, this is how I know these guys are not the Bachelor and these guys are not the first white men that she's ever dated. Because what you won't do is take a black man to Barkfest on a date. It's not going to happen. This is something that you do with Caucasian men. Maybe she did her research or maybe she did her own personal research. Okay. And she knew that this was the place to take him because Peter seemed like he had a blast. And I was like, Barkfest? Girl, what? But they seem to have a really nice date, and I think it's just because they really, really click. Then, why am I so excited? Then, they have like this little dinner date, and Peter's like kind of boring. You know, he's handsome, but he's kind of boring, and I'll give it to him that maybe it's because of the cameras, but he was a little bit stoic or whatever. But him and Rachel start bonding over gap teeth or whatever, and it was really, really sweet in the beginning, and then Peter is just like, well, a lot of everybody in my family has it. It's just something that we have, and then Rachel was just like, I don't know what recessive gene I have because I have this gap, and when she said recessive gene, Peter was like... I was like, girl, don't bring up recessive genes on the first date. So as they're talking or whatever on the date, Rachel like goes in for a kiss with Peter. And I'm not saying that he didn't want to kiss her. I'm just saying a lot of the guys are not yet ready. Every guy is not Brian, Rachel. She just dives in and kisses him. And at first it's like a little awkward because he wasn't ready, but then he falls into it. And I'm just like, girl, there is nothing wrong with being an aggressive woman. I'm just saying, read your partner right. Make sure they ready for that. Because Peter Nordine was ready for Miss Rachel, but Miss Rachel was ready. Then they have the remainder of their date outside and they're overlooking like the woods or whatever. And then these fireworks start and it was so beautiful because tall Peter is pulling little Rachel into his side and then he turns to her and he kisses her because he wanted to do it. He led with the kiss and I felt like it was a kiss that should have been their first kiss because Rachel was so forward with the last one. But this one was a really, really sweet and beautiful kiss and I was just like, okay, this guy might be trouble for my top 5. I feel like you got trouble, Josiah. I feel like Peter is some good competition because word on the street is that he won, but I don't believe Reddit. I don't believe Reddit. I'm going to just go by the show, and I feel like it's either Josiah or Peter at this point for me. Since we're here, I'll give y'all my little tea on Peter. So, you know, because Peter is now like my top 2, it's like him and Josiah. I don't know. I keep on moving the board. Since he's like my top 2, I went to check out, you know, I do my own little personal research and I went to his Instagram. And let me tell you something. See, this is, if you're not going to go black and you're going to go with another culture of man, sisters, listen up. You have to go with a dude that at least is familiar with your culture. And that means that he has like friends and family who are, you know, if you're black, who are black, you know what I mean? And I went to his Instagram and like all of his best buddies, brothers. So Rachel, you're in good hands. He already knows what to do. And it don't seem like this is his first sister because his community is very, very diverse. I think he even has like a biracial goddaughter. So you're in good hands, Rachel. You are in good hands. He's also a really nice guy. His Instagram just has him looking, you know, really sweet, really caring. I get that Instagram doesn't really depict honestly who people are, but I feel like it's a glimpse. It's a pretty good glimpse into who people are because I feel like my Instagram is kind of a glimpse into who I am. It's not my day-to-day, but it's a pretty accurate read of myself. So I feel like that's the same with Peter, and also he's fine. He knows how to take a picture because he's also a model and a personal trainer. You know what? Rachel's going to be the breadwinner in all of these relationships, but that's okay. that is A-okay, because he's fine. All the kids, I already have this idea of like what the kids are going to look like. First of all, they're all models. You know what? Let me stop. I am going way too far. Oh, but they're so cute. So Rachel takes all the black men on a basketball date. And a few white guys who can't ball. Like, none of them can ball. I don't know why she did this, but I guess she's like one of those girls who's really into sports and everything. So she takes all the guys on, the remainder guys on this basketball date. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is there. He gives her some really good advice. Really, really good advice. Wise guy. And they have like this pickup game. And I guess she wanted them to play this game so she can see who has tenacity. To be honest, I don't know why. I don't know why she took them to play basketball, other than why I think women take men to dance, and it's just to see how they move and to see if they are, I don't know, if they're like physically attractive in that way. Because let's be honest, like a man that's very athletic is attractive to a lot of women. The man that can dance is attractive to a lot of women. So I think that's what she wanted to see. Then I just wanted to see how they can dribble a ball. And if girl, please, you just wanted to see if they knew their way around a basketball court because they look good doing it. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. The dummy is at the basketball game. I can't. I feel like all season this dummy is going to have me in tears because I'm looking through the crowd and all of a sudden you see the dummy. So I don't know what Rachel was trying to see because the basketball game is dreadful. The only guy who did good was the one dude that I was starting to find attractive is DeMario. And as soon as Rachel starts falling for him, this whole sweep of a surprise happens. Out of nowhere, this girl, like at the end, the guys are like wiping down and they're in like the locker room or whatever. Rachel is meeting the Bachelorette fans. All of a sudden, this girl, I'm gonna call her Miss Basic Boots, walks up to Rachel and she's just like, excuse me, can I talk to you for a second? And guys, can I tell you, I thought it was I thought that this girl was here for Diggy. Because just the way they were doing the commercial, I thought that this was his ex-girlfriend or something. You could not have told me that she was here for DeMario. So she sits down and she's just like, I just want to let you know that my ex or my boyfriend of 7 months is on this show. And he's talking about that he loves you and he wants to marry you. But that is not the truth. He was just in my bed last night. Not last night, but you know, she's just like, recently he was in my bed. And I didn't even know that he was doing this show. All I know is that he stopped texting me. And then I turned on my TV and I see him on this show talking about that you are his wife. And she's like, who are you talking about? She's like, oh, I'm talking about DeMario. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, dude, really? Rachel's just like, well, you know what? Let me get him because I don't want to do this back and forth. Smart. So she gets DeMario. DeMario's walking out. He's like, yeah. That was a good game. What? Wow. Who's this? And as soon as he did that, I was just like, oh, this is his ex-girlfriend. I was like, oh, yep, this is his ex-girlfriend or some girl that he's still sleeping with, whatever it was. I already knew that he was caught just by his reaction because let me tell you something. If you've never been with a brother, that is how they lie. They lie in a way where they will make you think that you are crazy for looking at the truth. And DeMario was doing all that. Him and the girl was going back and forth. And he was just like, who is this? I have no idea who she is. Well, I do know her. I went over to break it off. No, then he went from, I sent her a text message to, oh, no, I actually did go over there to break it off. And she was just like, you broke it off with me. You still got my keys. He was just like, I don't have your keys. I gave you your keys when I went to your house. And she was like, no, you didn't give me my keys. So and DeMario was like, oh, you know what? You're right. I mailed them to you. Rachel was like, you know what? I can't even deal with this. She tells DeMario to pack it up. DeMario is defeated. I'm upset because I think a lot of us were starting to fall for him and thinking that he was a great fit for Rachel because, again, she wanted somebody who was like athletic like that. You know what I mean? And I felt like he was one of the guys. I told you he was already in my top, him and Dean. I was going back and forth between those two, but now he is completely out. He leaves defeated. Rachel is upset. And I feel like Rachel was really, really upset because Chris Harrison was sitting in the corner and she was just like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I am really pissed off. And I feel like, you know, Chris maybe was trying to talk to her and then he realized that Rachel was at a place, the point of no return. So he shut his little stuff up. He sat in that corner and waited for her to get herself together because she was really upset. She really felt, you know, just play and to have it be on national TV. And then she goes back and she talks to the guys and she's just like, listen, if you are not really here for me, you can go. Because I just had to send somebody home who was not here for me. And the guys are all shocked. I'm shocked because I just can't believe it. And to be honest with you, I feel like DeMario and this girl, I don't think that they were really in a relationship because the girl was just like, I have been asking him why I haven't met his friends or his family. I feel like maybe he was leading her on. He was probably sleeping with her, probably getting money from her. You know those kind of guys where they sleep with a woman, they get money from a woman, they get affection from a woman, but that is not the woman that they really want. And they take all that time and they invest it into somebody that I want. So maybe Rachel or somebody like Rachel is who he really wants to be with. And this girl was just somebody to occupy his time and make him feel like something when he had nothing else going on. You know those kind of dudes. You know those kind of dudes. And I feel like that is who DeMario is. But I'm just like, dude, to come here with plane tickets for you two to elope, and you knew good and well that you were just sleeping with this girl and texting her, you know, playing with her mind, playing with her emotions. So even if him and the girl really weren't in a relationship, those text messages alone showed him to be a horrible guy. So I'm glad that Rachel sent him home. I'm disappointed because he was in my top 5. Ugh. So I feel like I'm a bad, I'm a bad judge of character. But anyway, he went home, Rachel broke down, and then we head back to Westlake Village. Why are we in Westlake Village? It must be cheap. DeMario is gone, and Lucas is still here. No words. Back at the house, Rachel comes out in this really beautiful dress. Like, this is the best she's ever looked, in my opinion. And she's meeting the guys and having, like, these little one-on-ones again. And she finally kisses Josiah, which is what I've been looking forward to. And I felt like that was an organic, natural kiss. And I really, that didn't freak me out. Oh, then Rachel gets a one-on-one with Alex. And, oh, Alex, you are fine. But this song, baby... No, I don't know what he was saying, but he was like, this song is, it's in Russian. It's about a woman with dark eyes. And I'm like, what? You could have kept that. Whatever he was saying, he could not sing. And the song was really, really creepy. It just, it was awkward. This whole poor Rachel. Then Rachel has a one-on-one with Eric, and the kisses are so gross. He's like sucking her lips, sucking her tongue. And I get it. If you're in a relationship, that stuff is sexy, but she don't know you. And it's just way too, is the Bachelor or the Bachelorette like this? Do they do all this kissing and physical interaction so early? I'm like, you do not know these guys, and they are leading with kissing. You never sat down and talked to Eric, but yet you allow him to like suck your tongue? Oh no, girl. Oh no. Then she meets with Brian, and he's like, right off the bat, I've missed you so much. And he just sticks his tongue down her throat, and she enjoys it. But I'm just disgusted by his cheekbones and by how he kisses her. Anyway, he kisses her, and then he says, I told you that I'm good with my hands. I want to show you. And then he goes and he lays her down, and he starts to give her a massage. First of all, she's in like a beaded, ball gown. Why are you giving her a massage? Like, it was just not the right time. It was really awkward. Rachel went along with it, but it was just like, this was not the time to give her a massage. Maybe, the next morning, another time, but she's in a dress. She's looking really pretty. You're giving her a massage outside in the cold. It was just weird and awkward. But that's who Brian is. He's weird and awkward. So while Rachel is playing Thumb Wars with Iggy on their little one-on-one time date, DeMario shows up, and all the men get upset because it's just like, I can't believe he did that to our girl. And DeMario is just like, I didn't want to leave like that. I want to say my piece. And I don't think that Rachel should give him any more camera time, but I feel like it'll be good TV, so she's going to allow it. But Chris Harrison is just like, wait, I don't know if it's okay. Stay here with security. And I'm just like, guys, you're going to let her talk to him because this is good TV. So anyway, the guys are getting really upset, and they allude to maybe one of the men assaulting him. I don't know if that's really going to happen, but this show has been surprising me, so maybe that's what's going to happen. But we got a huge to be continued, and that's where it ended. And like I said before, I'm really liking this season. I'm enjoying every moment of it. It's not as corny as I thought it was going to be. There are some corny moments, but I don't have a problem with that. But it's a really interesting, fun show, and I really, really like it. I'm not that impressed with the picks, but I'm hoping as she slims it down, we'll get to know these guys a bit more, and we'll see some sparks fly. But I'm really excited about where she's going with Peter, because I just feel like there's something there between the two of them. And after I stalked him on Instagram, it's Peter Krause Instagram. That's what it is, like Peter Krause at Instagram.com or whatever. So y'all go find him and go see what he's working with, because if that's the real pick, Rachel did a good job, and I am here for it, because he seems sincere. It doesn't seem like he needs anything from this show. I mean, exposure is always good, but he just doesn't seem like that guy. I could be wrong, but he's like him and Josiah, man. I don't know, but yeah. So I enjoyed this episode. If you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next week for episode 3 of The Bachelorette. Bye, guys.